Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, October 6th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are somebody that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. And then real quick before I get started, just want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live class. So keep in the back of your mind as I go that if you're liking what you see and you want to learn more about it, then I am offering a class here in just a couple of days. That's totally free. So if you're watching on YouTube, then there's a link down in the description box you can click on. Or if you're watching at my site, claytrader.com, then somewhere right on the webpage there's going to be an area for you to click on and get signed up for it. So like I said, just keep in the back of your mind. And if you like what you see, you want to take it to another level and understand more about all of this, then definitely get signed up for the class. First one here, ticker symbol CEI, pretty much the talk of the markets today in the sense of those that trade this price range, but unfortunately not in a good way. I'm just absolute destruction. Things are looking really, really bad, and there's no need to beat around the bush. For the longest time, things were looking really, really good. It was just higher highs, higher lows. The uptrend was there, but after today, like I said, there's just nothing to really positive. And yeah, I suppose that, let me take that back. There is a bit of a positive because sure, the price has started to bounce. But the crazy thing here with this bounce is that what we actually have here is what is known as a bear flag pattern. Now, let me be very clear. Just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean that for sure, 100% guaranteed, the price is going to go and continue to the downside. Now, would that shock anybody to see the price make a move down below $1? I don't think that would shock anybody that uses charts and understands them. So again, nothing is guaranteed. But is it a rational decision? Does it make sense to think, I'm not quite convinced that this bounce is anything strong? Yeah, that's an absolutely valid thought process to have. So really moving into Wednesday, it's the bear flag pattern, and now it's just a big question of is it going to get continuation of the downside? Are the bears going to take another bite? But who knows? Maybe to be fair, this thing is about to just all of a sudden snap back upwards and make the bear flag, kind of smack it in the face. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But yeah, a very rough move today. And even with a little bit of a bounce that occurred today, all that's really done is now formed a bear flag pattern. But we'll see how it plays out on Wednesday. Next one here, ticker symbol BTBT, and what a just monster move, not only today, but afternoon. Had a very, very impressive move where you had this resistance area right here, but now that level has been broken. So as of now, the overall context is, in technical jargon, a breakout has occurred, right? A breakout of this former resistance area right there. So the question becomes, okay, yes, the breakout has occurred, but all right, well, how powerful is this breakout going to be? Again, no guarantees, but is it valid to think that this could be the start of something bigger? Absolutely. How so? Well, and I should have noted this with the first ticker symbol, but I'm doing the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks, as they're called, represents 30 minutes. And I bring that up because check out the last 30 minutes of the day here. Biggest volume all day long. Usually the biggest volume is going to be the first 30 minutes. But right here, huge volume, last 30 minutes, got the green candle, a breakout is underway. So once more, does that guarantee that the breakout is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger? No, there's no guarantees. Is it valid to think that it could get that much bigger? Absolutely. So that's definitely the big question mark moving forward. Again, the breakout has occurred, but how big is it actually going to be? And where is this next key level of resistance at? Next key battleground to watch very closely moving forward. Going to be right up there at 1175. So all in all, anyway, look at it. Breakout is underway. Big volume. Let's see if it can carry into Wednesday. Next one here, ticker symbol AMC, clearly still very, very popular out there, but this is going to be a very quick analysis because really there's nothing new to talk about for those of you that have watched past videos. So I'll just, like I said, quickly recap it, but there is one data point that occurred today, which is the nice little sign of bullishness. So I've been talking about over and over again that green line right there as at 36.25 as being an important area of support. So nothing has changed there. It is still an area of support, but the one thing that does need to be noticed is check that out. Opening 30 minutes, price drop down there. I mean, you just can't make this stuff up. Beautiful example there, real life example of the power of charts. And if you think I just put that green line there, I don't blame you if you don't trust me. Maybe this is the first video, but all you got to do is go back in the video archive and you'll see this green line has existed at 36.25 for a while, but you see right there, price came down to it and got a very nice bounce to it. So for the technical traders out there, some people scored very nicely there, bought there, very low risk, got the bounce and a nice little gain there. But from an overall standpoint, Still holding strong, and like I said, that's an interesting data point because it shows that, yeah, there are still a whole lot of buyers right down there around 36.25. In terms of areas of resistance, yes, you still have this overarching one up here at 40.50. What I'm actually going to do now is drop this line down here to $38 because that seems to be the more pressing and more kind of relevant area of resistance. Then, of course, you have that pink line up there, the 200 period moving average, which would then be another area of resistance. But don't want to get too far out of ourselves. Let's just first see if the price can even break above 38. But those are going to be the main levels to continue to watch moving forward. Next one here, ticker symbol GTE. Very nice volume and a very, very nice pattern. And this is not any sort of situation where I'm trying to sit here and proclaim like this is a great discovery on my part or that I have some sort of special skill. The exact opposite, actually. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same thing and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can create some very dynamic movements. And that's what we have here. So looking, let's just get the pattern mapped out. So right there we have what would be known as the resistance portion of it, right? The resistance trend line. And then we have down here more so the support area of it. So let me change that to green to represent more of a bullish dynamic there. And then we have, and I'll just make this all one color like I usually do to make it a little bit easier to see. So again, we have the resistance right there. We have the support portion right there. And then this would be known as the pull portion. If we put a little golf hole down there to make it a little bit more visual, if you can see that as a pennant there for you golfers, but this would be known as a bull pennant pattern. Now, just like I talked about with CEI, just because there's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to continue to go down. But the flip side is true. Just because there's a bullish pattern doesn't mean that for sure guaranteed that the price is going to go up. Now, is it a logical thought to think that, this is looking very healthy, this is looking solid, I could see this thing getting up over $1? Yeah, that is a more than rational thought process to have, and nobody can question you and say, well, geez, that's just a random, you're just throwing a dart. What would make you think that? Well, you could say, well, there's a nice bull pennant pattern on the chart here. So again, doesn't make it guaranteed, but it makes it valid, it makes it rational. So keep an eye on that pattern. Let's see how it plays out over the next couple days. Next one, SDC, very, very impressive move, and now we got a big old question mark coming into play here, and this question mark revolves around that pink line there, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a very famous 200 period moving average. Why is it famous? Well, check this out. Price was doing great, and then it gets right up around that pink line, and notice how the momentum is all of a sudden starting to struggle. Now, that does not mean that there's never going to be enough momentum that allows the price to carry on through and continue to move upwards, but it makes sense why there is all of a sudden kind of some up and down action right around that level, which brings about just the main question now moving forward is, if this move's going to continue, can it get a good firm break of that 200 period moving average, which right now valued at $5.87. So moving forward, $5.87 is going to be the level that a lot of people are watching, because I assure you, people around the world are using that 200 period moving average, and they're noticing, okay, yeah, the price is all of a sudden struggling. Oh, well, it's struggling right around the 200 period, but let's see if enough strength can show up that not only pushes it above that 200 period moving average, but then most importantly allows the price to stay up above it. Because when you think about it, the problem has not been getting up above it. Price got above it there, price got above it there, price got above there. The problem is actually staying up above that level, which is going to be the main dynamic moving forward. But all in all, very nice movement, very nice volume, but it's all about that 200 period moving average. And again, not necessarily can the price break above it, but can the price actually stay above it after getting up through it. Next one here, ticker symbol FAMI, and a rough day on it. And this will mean a little bit more to those that watched the past videos. But I mean, a classic example, once again, of the power of technical analysis. And there's a rule in charts that states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. And this green line here was a level of support here moving forward. But you can see that the price ultimately did drop below it. So at that point, again, according to the rule, levels of support, you would then expect to act as resistance. I mean, check out what happened. You just can't make this stuff up. Price bounced, got rejected. Bounced, got rejected a bunch of times right there. So just a classic example now of this former support behaving as resistance. Does that mean that the price can never ever get up above it? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it makes sense why the price is all of a sudden starting to struggle whenever it gets right up around that trend line right there, which as of now valued right around that 35-cent mark. So keep a close eye on 35 cents. I'll go ahead and get rid of that line there as it served its purpose as that main area of resistance. And then if the price pulls back some more, then it's like the top 10 of the 200 period moving average. But if, from an overarching area of support, now it's all about that 200 period moving average right there, currently valued at 27 cents. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, right now, things are looking a little bit shakier. I'm still not going to sit here and say that the entire chart's destroyed. But yeah, this pullback continues. And with each pullback, the bears seem to be gaining more and more confidence. So we'll see how things play out on Wednesday. Next one, ticker symbol ADTX. And boy, oh boy, do we have an ugly looking chart here. But for you loyal followers of the top 10, you know that I like to throw in some ugly because we can have some opportunity in ugly. And of course, the ugly comes in the form of nice gap up, opening 30 minutes, big green candle, price got up as high as there. And I mean, to think that there are some poor souls that actually were buying up there, yeah, they're not having a very good Tuesday. But after there, things got ugly and the price just collapsed. However, A lot of times people just get caught up in things like, oh, it just collapsed. It collapsed. Well, it did, but it also didn't. What do I mean? Well, look, it did start to go sideways down here. And where did it start to go sideways? Well, it started to go sideways right around some moving averages. Now, I realize I said this, but I want to repeat and beat this drum. Just because all this has happened does not mean that for sure guaranteed a bounce is coming. But does it at least make it valid? Does it at least make it rational to think that, yeah, maybe the sideways movement is some sort of consolidation where the price can eventually start to recover back upwards? Absolutely. So keep an eye on this area down there, and let's see if it can get a bounce. But like I said, no guarantee, so that's why risk management and risk control systems are important. But I mean, you don't have to worry about chasing the price. It's not a matter of suffering from FOMO right now. The people that suffer from FOMO were the people buying up there, and they've paid the price. But now with the big pullback, it's a very ugly situation. It's a very kind of, I don't think anything will ever get bullish ever again, but usually when it gets to those moments is when bounces can occur. So if you like to play pullbacks and if you like to kind of try to turn ugly into opportunity, this is one that I'd keep an eye on. Next one here, ticker symbol OCGN, and want to do this just because it's still a pretty popular stock out there. And again, one of these very ugly looking charts, which does follow the same logic. And the logic is, yeah, very ugly, gap up, price came down, so I'm not going to go through all that again. You just heard me talk about it. But, where did it start to go sideways? Well, wouldn't you know it? Started to go sideways right around 675, which before has produced some nice upwards bounces. Now, again, that doesn't mean just because it's bounced in the past that for sure another bounce is going to occur. But, I mean, it's already stopped going down. It's already started to bounce. So, really, the only question is, okay, is history going to repeat itself? And is this bounce going to continue? And if so, how much of a bounce is it going to be? Once more, maybe it doesn't bounce. Maybe this thing totally reverses back downwards, but that's why risk management, that's why stop losses exist. But from just a historical perspective and seeing what's happened the past couple of times, it's been down around 675. And to see that, well, it's already started to behave a little bit in that manner. It's not guaranteed, but it's logical to think that maybe the bounce could continue in the upwards direction. So keep an eye on that. And like I said, if you like to play those ugly moments and that can potentially turn into much more valuable moments, then this is one that I definitely keep an eye on. Next one here, ticker symbol MARA, and I mean just a very, very impressive breakout to end things. So like BTBT, and I know they're both kind of a crypto Bitcoin stocks, whatever you want to call them, but the breakout has already occurred. So it's not a matter of, all right, is this thing going to break out? This thing has the potential to break out. No, it's already broken out. It just goes into now, all right, how much momentum is this thing going to gain? How much bigger is this breakout going to potentially get? So like I said, breakout has already occurred. So this is not a breakout play in the sense of, all right, let's see if a breakout occurs, and then you can buy the breakout. Now, from that angle, too late. The breakout's already happened. But if you like to play momentum and like to play kind of the breakouts, then it's really a question of, okay, well, where are some of these next potential areas that the price is going to need to battle through? And the next big one right up here around the 37.75 mark. So keep an eye on 37.75 as a potential resistance area. And then after 37.75, next key area right up there around, let's call it 39. And with the big movement today, I don't think those levels are really that far away. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that the price is going to actually get up to them. But, I mean, what was today? A good $3 move. So a $3 move today would be, put it up at 40, which would put it up above those areas. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but MRA has shown that it can move and move very quickly. So if this breakout is just the start of, that much more momentum, certainly one that you'd want to keep it on the watch list. Next one here, Tesla, TSLA, and overall the chart's fine, but things are getting a little sketchy here from, the bullish standpoint because it was another day that just attributed this moment right here, especially this late day bounce and then completely rolled back over, meaning now we have three lower highs. Not just to have three lower highs does not mean that the overall chart is going to crash and Tesla's going out of business. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying from more of a trading standpoint, it is valid to suggest that, yeah, I think some bearishness is showing up. However, I'm still skeptical of that for this reason right here. There is a very nice, very respected trend line right here, which, you don't want to get too bearish too soon. Because, I mean, if you're saying, I'm getting bearish right now, well, I mean, you have this trend line right here that could produce a bounce like it's already done a couple of times before. But you know that there's going to be shorts watching that trend line saying, if it comes on there and breaks through there, then that's going to be the moment where I think it's a true sign of weakness, which is valid thinking. And if that trend line is broken, then really no other major areas of support until, well, there you go, surprise, surprise, that pink line down there, the 200-period moving average, which we'll call right there around $764. So yes, things are looking bearish, but personally, I would still be a little skeptical of the bearishness as long as the price remains above that trend line right there. But any sort of break of that trend line, then that does make it, I think, a little bit more justifiable that the bears have shown back up with a little bit more strength. So that wraps up the top 10. And again, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for the class. So if you like what I was talking about and you can see, okay, I can see some value here. I can see how these technical analysis charts can be used as a tool to make good decisions, to make rational decisions. And of course, rational decisions can lead to consistency. So yeah, I want to learn more. I want to understand more about all this stuff. Then definitely get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be this week on Thursday, October 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So keep that in mind, and hopefully you decide to make that investment into yourself of some time to get signed up for it. And then also, as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make them, then please just leave a comment down below. As long as I know that people are enjoying these videos, then hearing from you goes a long way. So leave a comment and also take the half second to hit that like button. But those two things go a long way. And it doesn't need to be a fancy comment. It can be saying hi. It can be a number of your choosing. It can be a smiley face. I don't know, let me know what ticker symbol you traded today. Maybe let me know what ticker symbol you're looking at for tomorrow. But those two things, hitting the like button, leaving a comment, communicates to me that it's worth the time and effort to do these videos. As long as I know that's the case, then I have no problem doing them. And again, definitely get signed up for the class if you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used to build consistency as a trader.